This garden is named after Dr. Sun Yat-sen, who's the first president of modern China. His idea for China at that time was uniting the peoples of uniting the peoples of China to become a strong country. You have to remember, in the late 1800s, China was filled with different peoples who were fighting each other, and that allowed the European people to come in and take the riches of the country. So his idea was, well, they could keep the riches for themselves and they could become a strong country like the United States, which he traveled extensively, as well as Canada. And so here, when you talk about Vancouver, a modern country, we inspired Dr. Sun Yat-sen, who went back to China to try to build a modern China, uniting the people there. The most important aspects of the garden is the fact that the scholar in the Ming Dynasty really believed in, or where his heart was, his responsibilities were in the city, but his heart was in the mountains, in the tops of mountains. And the reason was that the tops of mountains are places that people can't get to very easily. And so nature is left in its purest form. And by studying pure nature, perhaps you can better understand the balance and beauty and harmony found in pure nature. You can see the four necessary parts of the garden. And in a Chinese garden, these have to be here. So it's water, rock, trees, and buildings. And buildings are as important as the trees are in a Chinese garden. Construction of the garden is all done with no nails, no screws, no glue, holding any of the pieces of building together. It's all pieced together very much like a jigsaw puzzle. The building materials all came from China, but the trees did not. They are local Vancouver trees. And the Chinese horticulturalists came from China and started looking for the right tree to go into the right spot. Each tree had to be the right species, with the right special meaning, with the right age, with the right character to go into the right spot. There's only one tree of one species in one place. Each plant gets its own time to be special and beautiful and not be overshadowed by something else. When I first came to work in the garden, my kids were small, and I started to notice the small changes in trees, like from when they bud, when the bud starts to open, the different colors of the bud's shells as they open, the different leaves as they come out. So you start to appreciate the subtle differences. Everything in this garden is the same, and everything in this garden is changing. So not only are there positive spaces, there are negative spaces. Like in the yin-yang symbol, you know, there's a little dot of white in the black and a little dot of black in the white. What that reminds you is that you can't have too much of one thing. You have to have something else with it. I think people's understanding of Chinese culture has improved. People are surprised. I would say that the city of Vancouver, most people have never been here before. We get a lot of school groups, especially around Chinese New Year time. People come from England and Germany, come to Vancouver, and this is the number one thing they want to see in the city. Once you come here, it's such a beautiful, contemplative place. It may be different, but it speaks to everyone.